Humanity has ventured and explored the farthest corners of the earth. Yet beyond our relentless pursuit of discovery, some wild places remain untouched, not by distance or inaccessibility, but by something far more profound: devotion. The sacred groves, hidden patches of forest protected for generations not by fences or laws, but by faith and deep-seated cultural reverence. Their boundaries are not defined by maps or markers, but by an unspoken agreement to protect what lies within. These groves are believed to be the abodes of powerful gods, the dwelling places of watchful spirits said to inhabit the ancient trees, or ancestors, their presence felt in the rustling leaves and the dappled sunlight. Here, nature is not just observed as a resource, but worshipped as a living entity, a source of life and wisdom. The rustle of leaves is not merely the sound of wind, but a deity's message from the otherworld. Ancient trees are guardians, silent sentinels watching over the delicate balance of life. These groves are islands of biodiversity, havens for rare and endangered species. They are thriving because communities choose respect over exploitation, understanding that their own well-being is intrinsically linked to the health of the forest. Their survival is a conservation born from cultural belief, a deeply ingrained ethic that transcends legislation. They challenge our assumptions about conservation, about the role of humanity in the natural world. Sometimes the most effective protection doesn't come from external forces, but from a community's collective will. It stems from a shared sense that a place is too sacred to disturb, too precious to be exploited. As we search for ways to preserve our planet, grappling within the challenges of climate change and biodiversity loss, perhaps the answer lies, at least in part, in these living libraries, these sacred groves that hold ancient wisdom. They are places where nature and culture are not separate entities, but inseparable threads in the tapestry of life. Sacred groves are not just forests. They are living monuments to the power of belief. They are stories, waiting for us to listen, to learn, and to remember our connection to the natural world. The idea of a sacred grove is a concept that stretches back through millennia. It's rooted in the profound belief where the natural world is not just seen but felt. Long before written history began to chronicle human events, people, in their wisdom, set aside special patches of land, designating them as holy and inviolable. These were places where the boundary between the human and the divine was thin, almost permeable, allowing for communion and reverence. Across the world, from continent to continent, these groves have many names, each echoing the local culture and beliefs. Like several places in India, China, Indonesia, Thailand, and Japan, nestled near villages, these groves are integral to the lives of the communities that surround them. They are remarkable jewels featuring culture and biodiversity. These places are thus considered divine, shrouded in mystery and respect, where ancient traditions intertwine with the natural world. Each name is more than just a label, it's a declaration. This land is not for ordinary use, not for exploitation, but for something far greater, something sacred. Naming a grove weaves its sacredness into the very fabric of the community's identity, solidifying its importance. It's a process that transforms a simple woodland into a living, breathing entity imbued with spiritual significance. The grove gives spiritual solace, a place for reflection, and provides clean water, a source of life. And in return, the people offer their unwavering protection and perform rituals to honor the spirits within. This global tapestry of names, each unique yet connected, reveals a universal human impulse to find sanctity in nature, to recognize its inherent worth, and to set aside specific places solely for their spiritual value. Whether nestled in the towering mountains or remote caves, the underlying principle remains the same. Some places, by their very nature, must remain untouched, undisturbed, for the sake of the human soul and its connection to something larger than itself. Sacred groves are not just local treasures, they are humanity's shared heritage, a testament to our past and a guide for our future. They stand as enduring proof of our deep, unbreakable connection to the wild, a connection that sustains us all. Within a sacred grove, a realm steeped in mystery and tradition, ancient unwritten laws prevail, guiding the community's interaction with this special place. These laws, though unspoken, are as binding as any legal code. Passed down through stories, not statutes, these traditions are the lifeblood of the grove's preservation. Each tale carries a lesson, a warning, or a reminder of the grove's significance. Entry is often restricted, carefully controlled to maintain the grove's sanctity. Access is sometimes allowed only to priests or elders, those deemed worthy to tread upon its sacred ground, individuals who understand the delicate balance within. Reinforcing the grove's separation from daily life, this exclusivity underscores its unique spiritual status. It's a world apart, a sanctuary untouched by the everyday. Cutting trees or hunting is strictly forbidden. Any disturbance to the natural order is seen as a grave offense. The forest and its creatures are seen as the very embodiment of the divine, deserving of utmost respect and protection. They are integral to the grove's spiritual essence. Even gathering fallen leaves or fruit is regulated, a practice steeped in tradition. It's done with ritual and gratitude, acknowledging the grove's generosity and ensuring its continued abundance. These rules arise not from science or empirical data, but from a deeper wisdom. The health of the grove is the health of the community, an inseparable bond that dictates their way of life. The fear of spiritual retribution is a powerful deterrent, a constant reminder of the consequences of disrespecting the grove. Ensuring collective guardianship, the community acts as one to protect their sacred space. Children grow up with tales of the grove's power, absorbing its lessons from a young age, embedding respect in their culture, ensuring the grove's protection for generations to come. This system of conservation relies on reverence, not enforcement. It's a matter of faith, not policing. A shared responsibility for a place considered the soul of the community, a living entity that sustains them both physically and spiritually. Sacred groves endure because their protection is internalized, a deeply ingrained belief passed down through generations. Woven into the very fabric of belief, the grove's sanctity is inseparable from the community's identity. Every sacred grove is rooted in myth, stories of gods, spirits, or ancestors who dwell within. These tales, told at festivals and firesides, transform the forest into a living being, a divine protector. The community guards the grove not for its resources, but because it is family, guardian, and ancestor. Remarkably, these spiritual taboos often align with ecological wisdom. Prohibiting tree felling preserves canopies, protecting springs ensures clean water. Myths become vessels for environmental knowledge. A serpent god at a spring is a lesson in watershed protection. Taboos against hunting may safeguard keystone species. Spiritual beliefs and science are not at odds. They're two languages expressing the same truth. The health of the grove sustains all. In sacred groves, myth and ecology are inseparable, guiding generations to protect what matters most. Sacred groves are a global phenomenon, reflecting humanity's universal need to find the sacred in nature. In India, the kavus of Kerala and countless other groves are biodiversity hotspots, protected as abodes of deities. Some sacred places in African continent, in the heart of forests, preserve both nature and cultural identity. Similarly, in the continent of Asia, forests surrounding shrines are green sanctuaries in urban landscapes. Even in Europe, echoes of ancient tree veneration persist, hinting at a time when sacred groves dotted the continent. From the great Himalayas to the Sorshing deserts, from Buddhist forests to the Bishnois trees, the message stays the same. These beliefs, woven into culture, have created a decentralized, enduring network of conservation, long before the modern environmental movement. Sacred groves show that reverence, not regulation, they have the potential to safeguard the world's most precious wild places. Long before national parks or environmental laws, communities practiced a traditional conservation method through demarcating and preserving sacred groves. Their stewardship was guided by tradition, not policy, an ethic woven into daily life and cosmology. Generations learned the rhythms of the forest, using resources sustainably and protecting the grove as a genetic bank for the wider landscape. Sacred groves often safeguard water sources, regulate local climate, and support community well-being. Rituals and festivals centered on the grove strengthen social bonds and cultural identity. Today, governments and NGOs are recognizing the value of this traditional wisdom, working with communities to document and protect these living sanctuaries. Laws like India's Forest Rights Act now support community-led conservation, blending ancient knowledge with modern science. Sacred groves remind us the heart of conservation is community, culture, and respect for the land. Despite centuries of resilience, sacred groves now face modern threats that endanger both their ecosystems and the beliefs that protect them. Invasive species like lantana and chromalina choke out native plants, disrupting delicate balances. Urban expansion, agriculture, and development encroach on these sanctuaries, turning sacred land into contested ground. Economic pressures can divide communities, pitting tradition against profit. Most critically, as younger generations drift from ancestral beliefs, the spiritual protections that shielded groves begin to fade. When reverence wanes, the invisible fence of faith disappears, leaving groves vulnerable. The loss of a sacred grove is both a biological and cultural tragedy, a reservoir of biodiversity and a living library of tradition, gone. It severs the ancient bond between people and land, eroding heritage and identity. In losing sacred groves, we risk losing a model of sustainability our modern world desperately needs. As we face global environmental crises, the wisdom of sacred groves offers hope and a blueprint for the future. These sanctuaries prove that humans can coexist with nature in ways that are both sustainable and meaningful. To protect them, we must bridge ancient wisdom and modern science, supporting community-led initiatives, respecting traditional knowledge, and managing new threats. The fate of sacred groves tests our ability to value diverse forms of knowledge and integrate culture into conservation. Protecting these places is about more than saving trees. It's about honoring human dignity and our spiritual connection to the earth. By investing in sacred groves, we invest in a holistic, time-tested model of stewardship. In their whispering woods, we find not just biodiversity, but the soul of humanity, reminding us that the health of our planet and our cultures are forever intertwined.